I'm going to review how SilverPop can provide an integrated marketing capability to EIS. First, I wanted to mention that SilverPop maintains a leads database that can accumulate various leads coming into the system. And first, I wanted to kind of show you one method to bring a lead into the system. That can be to use a SilverPop form on any site. In this case, I happen to have it embedded within Facebook as a tab called Conversations. So here, I can, as a prospect customer that's interested in the new insurance products that CIC Insurance has, I can fill in this SilverPop embedded web page, web form, and provide all of my details. So my name is Bill Chase, my address, my state, and so forth. And all those details will come in as a lead to SilverPop. And accumulated leads, which can come from this web form or directly from an agent as a referral, can all come into SilverPop and be managed. That will place this and all the other contacts coming in as leads as part of a lead nurturing process. So once that's submitted, that contact is now part of the leads database. And that information is available for use with an integrated view in EIS. For instance, if I search out one of the contacts, you'll be able to see some of the fields that we maintain for that contact. And one of the critical fields is the lead status, because being part of this integrated program with EIS, we want to be able to know that a status is a new status, it's being sent to be worked by an agent, and ultimately as a quote is given, it'll be updated, and ultimately as a policy is opened, it will be statused as 1, which will ultimately generate a final step of the lead nurturing program. So let's take a look at one of the contacts that I've recently added. And we'll take a look and see what information we have with that contact. Let me find it here. So I've got a number that I've been using. But this contact, again, came in just like I showed you on that web form. And we'll be able to see all of the fields, including that lead status field. So we'll be able to know whether it came from a web form, was added directly by an agent or referral. And we'll be able to tag this and associate this lead with various programs. And as you can see here, we've already generated it as part of the lead interest nurturing program. And some emails have gone out to Bill in this case, so that we can actually see what some of these emails look like. Right? One of the very first steps, besides having an agent contact Bill, might be to have a coordinated email go out. In this case, we're sending out an email, and we're trying to solicit additional interests that Bill might be interested in. And this is the exact same email that went out to Bill. Other items I wanted to talk about was the program itself. So being part of this lead nurturing program, Bill is now one of many prospects that is in different stages of this program. I'll switch it to deactivated so we can see it a little cleanly, a little easier. The very first step in this program is a lead generation email, right? So the system can be programmed very easily by a marketer to generate emails, contacts, telesales, other steps along the way in the lead nurturing program. In this case, I waited a few days, and I said if the agent didn't contact the prospect, or if they didn't go to the website and get a quote, then we might send them a follow-up email. Ultimately, if that status is changed to 1, then we will send out a welcome email as the final step of this lead nurturing program. So that's one area, is the program automation. Another is the ability to score. So at times you might have a number of leads coming in and relatively few agents. So you might want the agents to work on the higher priority leads first. With SilverPop, you can establish a scoring model, right? And this can consist of budgets, additional demographic information can be used for scores, behavioral activities, recency, frequency, and all of those scores can then be used to drive a lead status, whether it be a hot lead, a warm lead, a cold lead, and this can be helpful for the agents that have a lot of leads.
AIS receives the file from Silverpop, and the marketing user can manually import the list of leads from a file into the system. So on the admin side of AIS system, we can select to perform a new lead import. We can provide an import name, choose a source from where the file is coming from, and in this case, we could select an agent or any other source. We're selecting other and entering Silverpop. Provide a short description, and then choose a file for import. Automated or manual validation processes can be employed to ensure data quality and avoid customer data duplications. This includes using internal or external programs and services before leads are made available to marketing and operations. When we go back and see the results of the import, we see some exceptions, and that's because of those rules that just triggered. But Bill Chase is not one of those exceptions, and we should be able to find him by going back to the main application and doing a search for him. We successfully find Bill Chase, and after reviewing the lead, confirm that all gathered data was imported correctly. We can also see in the Activities and User Notes section an automatically generated record, confirming that this lead was created as the result of the import we just performed. Campaign history for the lead shows the auto promo campaign that the lead has been targeted with. User can expand the campaign details and preview additional campaign information. In the interim, our lead, Bill Chase, has received the anticipated email from Silverpop. It prompts him to go and try out an anonymous quote. Bill is intrigued with the promise of insurance that suits his lifestyle. So to try it out, he clicks through the quote application to find out what works for him in terms of coverages and costs. He answers a few basic questions about the vehicle and main driver. Various pre-fill and search options are enabled in the anonymous quote application for ease of use and expediency. The anonymous quote application uses actual product rating with a minimal set of questions and the ability to go through what-if scenarios for different sets of coverage options. Just a few moments later, Bill can obtain an indicative premium and can use gamification to see how his premium is impacted based on changes in the value of his vehicle. He can scroll down and see coverage options he selected, as well as discounts that were applied to his quote. He has various options to proceed. He can generate an indicative quote document for future reference. He can email the quote. He can request a callback. Or he can just call the contact center if he is ready to purchase. Bill chooses to make a call to the customer service representative. At this point, we're switching to CSR desktop, and we'll be observing the interaction between the CSR, who is logged into the application, and the lead, whose phone we're projecting on the right side of the screen. The call is made, and the message pops up informing CSR about the incoming phone call. CSR accepts the call and is immediately redirected to Bill Chase's portfolio view. CSR can see Bill's details, including the existing auto promo campaign that Bill received, and can be very effective servicing Bill's needs. CSR moves to the Opportunity tab in the system to create a new opportunity for Bill. He associates the auto promo campaign to the newly opened opportunity and proceeds to quoting. CSR selects an applicable automobile product on the product selection page and proceeds with the quote. So while we continue entering quote-related data, let's take a few moments to recap what has been done so far on the EIS side. First, we received the CSV file with the new leads from Silverpop. We used our importing capabilities to bulk import all those leads into the system, and that's how Bill Chase made it in. We saw the lead was imported and the auto campaign was there as well. We viewed an email from Silverpop that Bill Chase received and saw how lead was redirected to the anonymous quote portal. We also saw how easy it was for Bill to obtain an anonymous quote, and how using telephony integration, a CSR can see who is making an inquiry and how he can always be efficient at servicing leads' needs. Okay, we're getting back to the final steps of quoting. CSR has rated the quote, and now this quote can be associated to the existing opportunity. The opportunity status will automatically change, and the opportunity will be considered quoted after a quote has been associated to it. The status of the lead in the silver pop has also been automatically updated based on the change of the opportunity status here. Next, CSR proceeds with the issuance of the automobile quote. He will have to enter necessary billing information and select a payment plan that works best for the lead. CSR proceeds issuing the policy for Bill Chase, and the lead is now customer. Naturally, when CSR switches back to the Customers tab and views existing opportunity, the opportunity now shows up as closed. Issuance of the policy automatically updated the opportunity status and is considered a win. At this time, a marketing user can access the admin in the AIS application and see a summary of how this campaign has been performing thus far. All new opportunities, quotes, policies, and associated premium is reflected in this section. SilverPop monitors the change of the lead status and triggers a welcome email as soon as the customer purchased the policy. The customer is offered several convenient options for self-servicing his policy. He can register in the web self-service portal and service his own policy from there, or he can download an application to his mobile device, such as phone or tablet. Bill Chase starts with setting up a web self-service account. Because Bill doesn't have an account yet, he has to provide necessary credentials. He enters email address. He must select a customer number that matches his customer number in the backend system. He selects a password, enters his first and last name, and provides a date of birth. The system presents Bill with a confirmation screen, and upon his confirmation, sets up a self-service account for him. Now, Bill can log in and handle his insurance transactions from his online account. When logged, he can make changes to his policy. He can decide to pay premium online. He can start claims in cases there were accidents or losses associated with his vehicle. He can also view his policy documents online. We will demonstrate a billing and payment scenario next. Bill decides to pay a premium installment for his automobile policy. Once he chooses the policy, system suggests him what the minimal amount should be. Bill enters few billing details and can choose a payment method. When selecting an EFT payment method, the system provides Bill with helpful hints on where in his check he can locate the routing number for his bank. Once all information is entered, Bill confirms the payment and the payment gets submitted. Because all environments are pre-integrated, the payment that Bill submits via his web self-service account is immediately reflected in the backend system. This way, a CSR or a billing specialist can view the submitted payment and, if applicable, can clear it. The next step in our scenario is for the customer to initiate a first notice of loss. But now we will demonstrate this capability using the mobile version of the self-service application. Once again, we're projecting customer's phone onto the right side of the screen, and what you see is how customer proceeds with FNOL initiation. customer proceeds by answering few basic questions relating to the accident, while majority of the information is pre-filled for him either from the policy or from the geocoding services that are available with the mobile application. If Bill needs any help throughout the process, he can once again contact the CSR. During such call, CSR might advise Bill to switch to a chat mode in order to collect additional information. Indeed, chat mode allows for much more sharing of details, such as photographs or accident location. Customer initiates a chat and CSR accepts the chat request. During this chatting session, CSR can ask whatever questions are needed to help the customer. CSR can ask about the location of the accident, and the customer can share that location via a simple click. Once the location is shared, CSR will be able to quickly access the map of the location. If any assistance is needed, such as roadside assistance, such can be dispatched to that location. Photographs is another important piece of information that can be quickly shared via a chat session. The photos can be selected from the gallery or can be taken right during the chatting session. In this case, we're selecting a photo from a gallery. When assistance is not needed anymore, either side can stop the chatting session. All the information obtained through this session will be available in the system. CSR has provided the necessary urgent assistance, and the customer is satisfied with how fast, convenient, and easy the entire process was. Now let's switch back to SilverPop.
Let's take a look back at SilverPop at the results and a couple of the areas I wanted to mention. First, you can see a dashboard view of the summary of how well programs have worked. We'll come back to that with reporting in a moment. But let's take a look at the database, because remember I said the lead database was maintaining an inventory of all the leads in the system that are being worked in EIS. And if we look for the leads that have a status of 1, you'll be able to see that we have a whole series of prospects that have ultimately been worked. They've opened the policy and the status in EIS has been changed to 1. Some examples here. Let me just drill into a few of them for you. There's our original contact that we started the web form with, and you can see that his status is truly WON for 1, meaning they opened the policy. So that's one point I wanted to make. The other is that there is a slew of reports that's available to talk about the performance of these leads in the lead nurturing program, and just where they are and how many emails have been generated, how many have clicked through to details. So there's a series of reports that are available, and you can establish a very, very detailed dashboard from these reports, which are the key performance indicators that are most meaningful. So the marketer has a wealth of information that's available to them to be able to understand how well the integrated SilverPop and EIS lead nurturing program is working. And again, thank you for your time today.